Hello, I'm Yoko, and this video is 2 months late. Oops! If you're new to this series, I'm trying to make OC spotlight videos for all of the characters in my Danganronpa Fangin Comics Despair Emporium on their specific birthdays that happen, and I recommend checking out the playlist / the first video in the series for some context if you haven't. I might reference some other characters like you know who they are if I've made a video on them. Also, unrelated side note, I have a new Halloween Odd Bat themed design on my Redbubble, link below if you want a sticker or anything else. After over a year, I finally made something Galaxy Clan related for merch. But anyway, this is Ryden Kazehaya's OC Spotlight video, and his birthday was August 1st. So oops, like I said, this is very late. I'm also re-recording this intro, so the audio might be slightly different when we get into the video. I'm very behind on this series, but I'm hoping to catch up soon. That being said, quick disclaimer for anyone who's new and didn't check out the first video. The Danganronpa series is meant for a typically older audience and includes adult topics including but not limited to murder. But yeah, let's just get into Ryden. And first off, you guys gave me a ton of questions for him. Gee, I wonder, it's been like a month. And I'll go through a lot of them casually as we go through the video, with more being answered in the eventual Q&A section. But sorry if I missed your question, there was a lot of them. Raiden Kazehaya is known as the ultimate daredevil, and he's very much on the smaller side, being only 5'1". He has a like for explosions as well as other extreme things and stunts, and he has trouble sitting still. He often acts before he thinks, and is really energetic but a bit gullible at times. He also has ADHD, and he likes drinking coffee before trials because he says that it helps him focus. And he does actually have his moments of figuring some stuff out in the comic, so that's fun. And before we go into more specifics about him, I'm going to go over the general inspirations around his creation in general as a character. So I was going for a very electric design, but not too extreme, so not like lightning bolts and stuff. His hair was meant to somewhat look like storm clouds, and his love of explosions came from Electrode the Pokemon. He's also supposed to look a bit like he just got blown up, specifically like the anime Just Got Blown Up where the hair gets all frizzy. Some more inspirations came from the unhinged Nuka from The Lion King 2, and I even made Raiden a Leo and drew him with a fang in his smile compared to others in the comic who don't really have that, except for like maybe one or two. That being said, after the Year of the Tiger came around, I've been enjoying drawing him with tiger stripes as bonus pictures and stuff like that. I find comparing him to big cats pretty fun since he's really small in general and I think it's funny. But I love their big personality that shows him as well. It's fun. Back to the electric part of him. His name Ryden means thunder and lightning, which probably explains some Pokemon like Raichu and stuff like that. And Kazehaya means wind/breeze, etc. according to Google. I don't speak Japanese, I get all my information off Google, but I do know some words here and there. Like I knew about Kaze being wind. But yeah, overall, I kind of wanted a tough-sounding name. I thought it would be cool. I kind of wanted to give a sort of vibe of a thunderstorm with his name. But now, as for more information on Ryden in general, he tends to do some stuff without thinking, as mentioned earlier. Some examples being eating food immediately after he was found in a strange situation when no one knew if the food was safe, jumping off of a diving board fully clothed into a pool, and making an explosion indoors just because he remembered there was a way that he could do it and he saw all the supplies and he thought it would be cool. Basically, he is an act first, consequences later type of guy, and he will especially act first if the action in question is something that will give him an adrenaline rush, like jumping off a diving board. He's done tons of stunts in his life so far, which has led to his title as the ultimate daredevil that Hope's Peak Academy has given him. That being said, most of his stunts have been more things like parkour, random stuff that he does, just things like that. There is a reason for the title, though. He also just craves the rush and hates being held back or being trapped places. Hence, this whole being trapped in a killing game situation has made him a bit antsy, but he's doing his best to not go stir-crazy in here, hence leading to some of his more extreme actions. Ryden is also easily discouraged by comments from another character, June, who tends to put him down and bully him a bit. On the brighter side, other characters, like our main character Yoshio, or another character Isamu, tend to stick up for him or encourage him. Side note, a lot of people ship Raiden with Isamu, and I have drawn ship art of it before for a Valentine's Day special. Calm buff guy x small chaotic gremlin vibes. It's cute. Ryden also actually has a pet tarantula named Rose, And Pokemon has ruined me because I just realized I wrote Tarantula in the script. You know, the Gen 9 bug. So thank you, Pokemon. Moving on. Ryden has revealed that his brother's been watching her recently, and when Ryden is with Rose, he feels a bit calmer and more at ease, and he knows that he has to be lower energy in order to not hurt her. So she's pretty good for him. I also only really drew her in like one scene so far, and I don't really have a ref on screen. But if you do have arachnophobia, I did my best to make her look kind of cute while still semi-accurate to her whole being a spider thing. I tried to look out for you guys. And I'll get into more spoiler-related stuff later in the video, but for now, let's go through some questions that you guys left for him. These will bounce around in topic, and I might miss some, so sorry if I do. But yeah, let's start with, what's the craziest thing Ryden's done, and does he like roller coasters? Ryden is 100% down for roller coasters, and the craziest thing he's probably done is essentially walk a tightrope between two buildings that were really high up, when he never really did anything like that before that. But he did get a sandwich for it, and he thinks that's pretty cool. And related to that, another question asked if he would go base jumping, which is jumping off really high things and then opening a parachute, apparently the most dangerous sport. And Ryden would definitely want to do that. Another question was if he's had a birthday celebration in his honor before. This question was brought up based on some theories that they had about if he didn't have the best upbringing. And without getting into his potential free time event information, he has had birthday parties, but they weren't exactly the best for various reasons every time. He did start to have a really good one on his last birthday with his brother, but something had to ruin it. Sorry to be vague. Also, this question had another one on the end asking how Ryden would react if they made him a Lightning McQueen themed cake, and he would absolutely love that. That would make his day. Ka-chow. Another question asked, has he ever gotten injured during a stunt, and what would he do if he had to sit still and recuperate? Ryden is a lucky boy and hasn't really been too seriously injured beyond scrapes here and there, despite his recklessness. He did injure his ribs a bit once, and he hated not being able to bounce around like usual. He definitely gets restless, and he also doesn't really like hospitals in general too much. What is Ryden's favorite food? Cheeseburgers. Nothing more to say on that. Does he have a favorite movie? Not necessarily a specific one, but he loves explosions and action movies in general. Is Ryden a cat person or a dog person? Despite me basing him on big cats and stuff, he's definitely leaning more towards dog person with these choices. Specifically because his high energy kind of scares cats away usually, and that makes him a bit sad. But if he were in a zoo, he would definitely lean more towards the big cats than like wolves or something. Has he ever been to jail? If so, why and who bailed him out? Ryden has not been to jail, but he is kind of wanted for some stuff. I'm not going into that until his free time events. Just know that Hope's Peak kind of bailed him out and he was in a bit of a tough situation. Why are his clothes ripped? He doesn't really have that many clothes and he's not exactly the best at keeping his clothes that he does have intact. Reckless boy go burr. It be like that. Why does he have a spider as a pet? Because he thinks they're sick and he's always wanted one, but his parents told him no, so his big brother got it for him. Does he have a crush on anyone? A killing game makes crushes pretty hard, but if anything, he'd probably say he likes Yoshio or Isamu if he had to pick. Side note, I think I forgot to mention that Raiden is gay, so there's his sexuality for anyone that was interested. And I'm gonna leave it there for questions right now. Sorry if I missed any, it was just a lot to read through. And from this moment, we are heading into major comic spoiler territory. Side note, the Spare Emporium has kind of gone on a hiatus for a few months again, but I'm doing my best to get back into things, I swear. Sorry to leave you guys on the end of a kind of climactic part. We're kind of towards the end of chapter 2. But if you don't want any spoilers, I suggest stopping here and reading it first. It's linked below. But for anyone that stayed, let's get into the elephant in the room. So we currently left off at a point in the comic that points towards Ryden being the second blackened student of the comic, which if you haven't seen anything Danganronpa related and got this far, first off, good on you, just watching it, not knowing anything. Let me know how you're feeling. But being the blackened essentially means that Ryden killed someone. Because it's been months, I'll come out and say that we're like one page away from the vote section where Monokuma will say that Ryden did it. Sorry guys that really liked him. The current order of events that are set up implies that Ryden killed Hiroto after catching Hiroto in the middle of a self-sacrificing plan. Perhaps this being another one of Ryden's split-second decisions that he didn't completely think through. There will be more details in a bit in the comic itself, so I'm not going to go into too much right here. That being said, the way we found out that it was Ryden really plays into the fact that June, I mentioned earlier, really bullies him. I pointed out that Raiden shuts down and is weak to when he gets bullied by June, and he essentially just got bullied into being outed as the most likely suspect. June even interrupted the minigame segment and cornered in on Raiden when he couldn't provide a proper defense. The most he could really do is chant that he didn't kill Hiroto over and over. And I wonder why that's just what he's been doing. Perhaps it's a defense mechanism? I say this like I don't know the answer. All in all, Raiden's in hot water, and there's still a bit more to him that you guys don't know yet. And yeah, that's Raiden Kazehaya's video. Thank you for watching, and sorry, Raiden, that your video is so late. Again, this is a re-recorded outro. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate if you could like, subscribe, and check out my socials linked below, including the Despair Emporium Instagram that this comic is on. I promise to update soon. Very sorry, guys. I've been very out of sorts with things. I've basically only caught up with Galaxy Clan. Trying to fix that. My commissions are open, and I do have a Redbubble below, if you'd like to support me that way. And with that said, I should see you next Sunday with another OC Spotlight video, because we're going to be playing catch-up for a few weeks. Oops. But yeah, see you next time. Peace.